Hello everybody, welcome back here to Canning Farms, and in today's video we'll just start off by giving an update on how the breeding's going, how the heifers are going. I have to cut more silage, there's 20 acres to cut on that rented ground, and as well we have a few other gates and bits of maintenance and stuff like that to do around the farm. So we'll get down to the heifers, we'll talk more about that. Go on you go on. So just brought them in here now. So for today we have there's 3 repeats in there, so the repeats are starting to kick in the end of last week and this week now, so that'll make 7 and 4 from the other one. It's 11 from 51, so hopefully now there's not a whole pile more and that'll be a good hit rate. Basically 50% is kind of 50% is what they're saying is kind of what we'll repeat, so 11 out of 51 is good going, but this is only the first few days of repeats. So everything else then, everything got AI'd apart from this one. She's the only one that hasn't been AI'd, and I think she's a twin, so I'm going to get her scanned to see whether she will actually breed. I doubt it, but if so, she'll be heading to the mart. But yeah, everything going okay now. So everything, like I say, got the first serve and we're into repeats, and I might have a bull got as well, so bull will be arriving now hopefully the weekend, and let him out then and let him get up or get the repeats straight away. So just down here now on the rented ground in the grass now that I'm going cutting. So there's 20 acres of this. You can see it's not very thick, but geez, in the last week it's taken up no end, so it has. But it's not going to be as good as that one, and you can tell the difference there. I got that bit overseeded there and cut that 2.5 weeks ago, and the fertilizer on it last week, so it'll be ready to cut now in about 5 weeks time, 6 weeks time, whereas this now is going to be 2 or 3 weeks behind it. And when you go into the middle here, it's very lax, but you're either going for bulk or you're going for quality, like, you know. So I made a decision there that I'm just going to cut it, clean it off, and what I'll do then is I'll put out probably 3 bags to the acre of 18-6-12 after. I have no slurry to put out, and a slurry would have made a great job, but I was hoping for a bit more of a better crop, but if I leave it any longer it'll head out and that'll be a disaster too. So might as well get a cut, get it in the pit and start again, and sure I can always cut another 3rd cut anyway. So contractor's arrived here, so he started in the mowing in the first paddock and he's over there. So it's not a bad crop actually, it's heavy enough in spots, and again good leafy grass, so it's not too bad. Awful light in some places. Out in the middle there now, it's you get more off the lawn, but you know, it'll still be really good stuff now. So but yeah, so that's the next bit done. But yeah, happy enough. You can see here now why I was kind of anxious enough to get it. Some of the grasses now, and what's that, Timothy or something, but some of them grasses now are starting to head out. So if I left that for another while, sure, all the feed value will be going into them seeds, and that's no good for feeding cattle. So get it done and get it cut and get it cleaned off, start again. So we'll leave him at that now. So that's Brendan there from Burnham Land. He's there, so he's mowing away there. Should have that dropped in a couple of hours, and what I'll do now, it's Monday now, so I'm going to bale that on Wednesday, and the boys there from Brendan Mulroy's, they're going to bring in the bales again for me. So yeah, hopefully, usually now when this is let on and let grow and everything and cut at the end of June and that, usually each section of 10 acres gets 100 bales, but I'm not hoping or not anything like that. I'd say off the 2 sections if I get 100 bales, but at least there'll be 100 good quality bales, rather than stuff that came off it last year was all headed out and everything, so it was no good really for feeding them young stock. All right for cows and that, but so I'm hoping that we'll get about 100 bales off it and then go for a 3rd cut on it, or a 2nd cut it should be on that. So
I met him on a sunny day in late July, and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I told him I want that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't wanna let you go. Cause we wanted different things, and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on your own. Ever since I got a good look in his eyes, I just knew that he was special. He said he wanted to take it slow, but I couldn't help that I wanted to take it to the next level. Cause I wanted that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't wanna let you go. Cause we wanted different things, and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on your own.
Right, the lads have just left there now, so we ended up with 127 bales, so out of around just short, I suppose, of 20 acres. Wasn't expecting that many now. I thought it'd be about 100, but that means now that in May we've made 185 bales, and I have 50 bales left over from last year, so we're at about 220, 230. So I need to make about another 100 bales, I'd say another 100, 120 bales. So between the bottom section down there, it's going to get a second cut. The section up there as well that we cut in the last video, I'm going to cut half of that or 3/4 of that again, and then any paddocks that grow a bit strong right like that, I'll be taking them out as well. So should have enough now. Getting that early cuts out of the way, that's taken a lot of pressure off there. So again, Melani's done the baling, and Brendan Maroy's crew are coming over and they're going to draw in the bales, but just means their pressure's off now, so on to the next job. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a boyfriend now for the ladies outside. So this is the bull that I got for mopping up. So he's a young bull, he's 16 months old, easy calving bull. He's 3% on cows, he's about 6.5% on heifers. A nice size bull too, in that he's not overly muscly and he's not overly big as well, so that he's not going to be, when he goes up on the heifers, because the heifers are smaller, he's not going to be causing them any problems. He's a nice quiet bull as well. He doesn't really take any heed on me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put him in the pen for a while, let him settle tonight, and then what I'll do is I'll take out the vasectomized bulls tomorrow and I'll put him in. So at least now it's the start of June now, so he'll have 2 months now with the girls now, just to kind of mop up. So, but he's a nice tidy bull, so he's a nice tidy animal. He's good and square in the back. He's just a nice bull now. So I give him a bit of a dose as well there and give him a bit of minerals and meal and get him used to me. So leave it at that anyway, let him settle down. I'm going to be finally putting up these gates where I want them, so I'm I'm just loading up here now. So these are 16-foot gates. So I have 2 lights and 5 heavies. So these 2 light ones, one's going at the very end paddock, one's going in between where the new land are rented and the old land, and then these 5 heavies are going in this junction that I was always on about there. But I'll show you there when we're putting them up what I mean and how I wanted to work and stuff. But so you might be wondering why I'm putting in all these gates, but it's just for places where the electricity can't get to, that say there's about an acre or 2 in there, and then this paddock here, like it's going all the way over that little bit of a hill. So just to split it up a bit more, put in the gates. I could put in a drinker there there last week or there when I was putting in all the drinkers down below. So these gates will make it easier to keep on top of grass and that, you know. So I'm just using these brackets here. So top bracket has a hole in it, bottom one, the only difference is this plate is welded on. And then I'm driving in these carriage screws. These are 100mm long. I'm just sticking a washer on them as well when I put them in. So that's the second gate up. So what I'll do now is just bring some gravel down when I get it, just fill in this because it's a bit mucky when it gets wet. But that means there now I'll be able to split these 2 paddocks again and let them graze out in there because there's drinker in there now. So yeah, it'll make life a bit easier now for keeping on top of grass. That's the gates up there now. So one there going into that paddock, down the walkway into that paddock and down that walkway. So it means now that when the cattle are coming up, all I have to do is open that gate and that gate. Don't want to rely on any wires. And the reason why I'm using gates, I did use wire before just across the walkways and stuff, but when the calves come in they just thunder down from the yard and they just go as quick as they can, and if they don't see the wire they're through it, and there could be 5 or 6 of them gone, and it's torture trying to get them back. So at least with the gate the cat can see where they're going, and once they're trained in then no bother, they'll work away. But as well I can use this pen, I can use this now as a pen, so instead of bringing all the cattle up to the yard, separating them in the shed to take out the one that's in heat, I can get her in here and I can bring her off then with another mate of hers then, and bring her down to the shed and just leave that, and I can let the other ones then, so they're not losing a couple of hours grazing, so you're not impacting your you're not impacting on your performance, right? And it's there and then, so this should make life hopefully a bit easier. So that's all the bales in and stacked. So like I said, 180 there in May, so a good total over, a bit more than what I was expecting, so happy enough with that. Bull is out. 3 vasectomized bulls are in. They're going to be, I don't know what they're going to be, Mart or factory, but one or the other. And we got a few drinkers out again and a few more gates up, so busy week, but a lot done there. So I'll just leave it there for today. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it around. And again, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.